All right, King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, you get the story. Over in beautiful Saudi Arabia. And anyway, so I was like, outside of one match, they were all pretty much predictable or whatever like that. But good match nonetheless. Like I said, we always sort of get good matches, so therefore you don't remember pretty much all the other stuff in a couple months or whatever. So it doesn't even matter. But all of them was pretty much uh, an interesting storyline or beat with them all, considering what was going on. So at the beginning, well, early on, we got a women's tag team match of Jade and Bianca and Indy and um, Lorraine, Candice LeRae. Um, I was like, didn't see it coming. Cause to be honest, I was wondering why it was on the poster. Which, by the way, is it me or that poster basically just the poster for Black Panther, and they just put in WWE Superstar. I haven't seen nobody talk about it, but I'm just saying. Um, yeah, so I was like, but it was a fun match. I was like, they basically did the whole working over Bianca thing, especially her leg from the tournament. But in a lot of the Bianca J matches, that's how they sort of been doing the whole routine. To be honest, I really like more of Indy here because the way she was healing it up and doing her pigtail like Bianca and stuff like that. But I was like, Jade and Bianca won with their crazy tag team finisher. But I was like, that's really cool. But yeah, so we got that match out the way. Cool, good, everything. Um, First match, Bianca. I mean, not Bianca. Too many B's. Uh, Now I'm about to say Bailey. Damn. Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan. There we go. Let's get on track. So I was like, I was like, first of all, I had to get it out the way that Becky Lynch's outfit confused me. I thought it was just going to be like I thought it was going to be something that she takes off. I didn't know that she wrestled with it. Once she did, I'm not going to lie, it was a lot more funny, but I also liked it and didn't at the same time. Just because sometimes it seemed like it was very like practical, like how she wrestling in this, while also being like, is she really wrestling in this? Because I was like, of how she sort of looked. I was like, I was over here being like, oh, she looked like she was back in the day to like Janet Joplin, something like that, or I was like the comedian Charles Chaplin. No, I messed up the first name. I was like, but the dude that used to be in silent films and stuff like that. Ah man, I was like, yeah, I was close, but I messed up off the top of my head. Anyway, also too, I was listening to some other people's reaction on Wrestle Talk, and they made a good point that for a place that tells women to cover up, that the women having to cover up actually looks even more than if they were being revealed. And I think that's true from the fact of what we've seen uh from like Lyra being in her little spandex suit. I was like Liv being her latex suit. I was like, I even thought Bianca and Jade in their whole one piece outfit. I was like, I don't know. I think they're right. Anyway, besides the point, fun match. I was like, after they was over here filling each other out, doing a little slow match, they finally started going with the nitty gritty of getting into it and going back and forth. I was like, I thought Liv did a really good job of doing a lot of counters to Becky Lynch's moves. But let's get to the main whole point: is that Becky has this armor on Liv, and who comes out? Dom. And at first it's like, oh, this must be over here planting the seed that he over here gonna save his new boo, Liv. No, apparently, I was like, after Becky sort of stops with the disarmer and confronts him, um, he basically, I was like Liv, like they like, I was like Liv takes her to the ground. They're on the ground, and the referee got it pulled by Liv. He throws a chair to Becky. Becky looks confused. Dom tries to distract the ref, but in doing so, Liv DDTs Becky onto the chair and does the Oblivion and wins the match. And yeah, and Liv is the champion. I was like, I didn't think that they would pull the trigger here on Liv. I thought it would probably be like, I guess the next pay per view is Clash of the Castle, something like that. I thought that's what they were going to do, just to have her lose and have a little bit more juice in her revenge tour. But they pulled the trigger here. They let Dom be a part of it, so therefore that makes more skepticism in it, because it's like he helped Becky, but he helped Liv. I guess he was trying to retain Rhea's championship on somebody else, then let the person who injured her get it. But also, could this not have been their plan at the same time? Not really. I was like, that's a lot of variables to account for, but still. So that's going to be intriguing, and Becky Lynch is going to do her rematch clause on Monday, which, I mean, I would be shocked that there was like a swerve there. So we're going to get that, which I feel like Dom is going to interfere again to help Becky, and it ultimately failed. Yeah, so then we got Sami, Chad, and Bronson Reed. I would like a more fun match than I thought, just because I was like, they really didn't harp on, like how sometimes when it's a triple threat, it's like it's really two people in the ring, and then that one person just never seen from again until the time. I was like, no, they actually interchanged quite a bunch of times. I was like, you had like a really great spot of like Chad suplexing Bronson and Sami. There, I was like them doing a superplex. Bronson Reed doing a moonsault and missing. But then the whole point was again another storyline angle of Chad Gable telling Otis to, hey, take out the people or whatever. He takes out Bronson Reed, no problem. But then it comes to Sami and he can't do it. So Chad is over here like, do it, I'll hold him up. And he charges, and Otis charges up, but can't do it. And then Chad gets all in his face, talking noise to him, slaps him again, talking about, what you gonna do, hit me? I'm your only friend, now let's do this, or whatever. So he holds up Sami. Otis finally rears back, running start, and he ended up clotheslining Chad. I was like, you could tell it was coming, but he still does it, which allows Sami to go into the ring, haluva kick Bronson to get the 1, 2, 3, and you just see Chad berating the hell out of Otis as Sami has his, victory lap here. Then after that, I was like, going to the King. I was like, the Queen of the Ring. We get that first, and it was Lyra versus Nia Jax, and it was. I was like, they gave Lyra pretty good offense considering all things, because Nia was beating the hell out of her. I was like, it's the whole, big monster versus like little underdog kind of thing. But Lyra was able to turn around some offense and stuff like that. It was just too much where it was just like hit another Samoan drop and all this other stuff. Or she trying to, do all the flips and stuff, and Nia's just like, I'm not moving. Like she tried to do like a toe drag. Nope. I said the flip over powerbomb. Nope. I was like, but she was able to get in some offense here and there. But the ending of the match was crazy, just because after there's been a little bit of because I was like, Lyra got Nia and did a stomp on her. I was like, try to pin her, couldn't get it. And then at this point, I was like, Nia Jax got her and basically was dragging her to the corner, so that she can get on the rope. And Lyra I was like, and she was gonna do she gonna do a Samoan drop from the top rope, but Lyra was able to fall off, slide down, and is trying to power bomb her. And as Nia Jax is sort of footing is messed up, and you see Lyra wrenching her back in order to do it, Nia just drops and just smashes her straight to the ground. 1, 2, 3, as she just posed up. And I was like, that's crazy, because I'm like, if you see how Nia Jax just drops on people, that by itself hurts. That shit hurts. So to see something like this with somebody who's smaller, because I was like, all the people that she done it to Becky, and that's probably Lyra's side, but she done it to Rhea and Raquel, and you just see they're yet alone like something like that where she has to literally like like at least with the other way that she does it, she's on the ropes and she gets to stop with her feet a little bit. She just dropped her ass onto her and that was it. And I was like, you know what? I'll probably make up for that time, like earlier in the match, what you tried to do on the outside and her hold that we don't speak of got hurt. She was like, "Nah, you getting all of it, yeah, in this match," and she won it. Triple H came out here to present the crown to her, talk to her the whole time. You can see she's over here crying, but she got suck them thug tears up real quick because you know she still got to be that person out here that's like, nah. I was like, I'm coming for you. Here we go, SummerSlam. Who I was like, I think she called. I was like, I'm pretty sure she called out Bayley. I was like, I don't know. I was like, at that point, I was just paying attention because she was crying. And I was like, and you get it because it's like, not only is the work that she's done since she's came back and losing in several title matches and or close calls on like rumbles and stuff like that. So you feel like they were going to give her the crowning moment of all that, but also just think about from her being fired, her being like basically like people like, I mean, one, she probably already gets like a lot of hate for being a big girl anyway, but the amount of like her hurting people and stuff like that, which I mean, granted, it's warranted because it was like you're unsafe in the ring and stuff, but that just sticking with you the whole time, even when you're starting over again, and that's still sort of like there, or just this is like like she's been booked how we've all sort of wanted her to be booked. And you've seen glimpses of it in the past, but I was like, this is the best that she's been booked. So it all look like come here and she gets some type of reward for it. And I'm not gonna lie, I think she's going to beat Bayley for that championship in SummerSlam if Bayley still has it, because I'm like, at some point you give the monster the damn title, and I think she'll get it or whatever. And by then, Bayley has had it for nearly half a year. Well, about 4 or 5 months. Yeah. So, anyway, that's in the future. But anyway, Nia Jax, you're queen of the ring. After that, we got king of the ring, and we got Gunther and Randy Orton. And I was like, it wasn't no matches that told a story, but you also need to know a bit of the story yourself. Like you need to like, you know, like in movies where it's like they don't tell you everything, you got to have some of your own interpretation or to figure stuff out. That's sort of what it is here. And by that I mean, like, and I was like, I was like, shout out to people after the rest of the talk for the live stream of like putting this in like more like the, I was like, oh, okay, cool, that, you know, get that wheel turning a lot more, where it was like, you know, like a Randy was really having his way with Gunther with like rest holds and not like, you know, backing down. And you got to think like Randy Orton's a big dude before he even got this damn like yoked. Like he's a big ass dude. Like Walter ain't big over him like he does with everybody else. So that's already like on like an even playing scale. But also the fact too of he's like, he's a veteran in all of this, like a veteran. He's like multi-time world heavyweight champion. He's not. It's not the same thing as Sami or Jey Uso or Priest or any of the. No, I was like yes, they are. I was like, some of them are veterans, but some of them are pretty much in this mid card or they're new here, that kind of thing. Whereas like you're facing another top tier stuff, like you're going against legends and stuff. So he's not going to just dominate in the same way that he would back in the day. And I felt like that what they was telling here, like Randy's not gonna back down. Randy ain't scared of this stuff like that. He's gonna be a lot more counter. Like you've seen, like they sort of like made it take a long time for Walter to get a chop in. Don't get me wrong, once he got a chop, but then also Randy didn't go down. He just sort of took it and then he just fought Gunther back. Normally that doesn't happen. Normally that person falls down and they over here trying to be resuscitated. But then you seen like it started to wear on him. That I was like, he was getting some of the chops. I was like, then his back became a problem. But he was able to hit Gunther with two RKO's and stuff. Uh, yeah, and I was like, and the match I was like, he hit him with an RKO the first time Gunther runs off the ring. The second time he hit him with the RKO, I was like, he went to the other side to try and pin him, which is like his bad leg side too, because he's also doing that from the tournament. And that sort of cost him in a way, because not only did it take him a long time to get over there where he probably could have got a 3 count, but also he got put on his shoulders for basically Gunther to win and him to become King of the Ring. I don't know if they're going to address the bot. They sort of did in commentary, but I don't know if they're going to address it. I don't know if they're going to say anything about it. They're on 2 separate brands, so I don't know what they could really do here, because it's not like you could make a story maybe at at a pay-per-view maybe type of thing, like later on in the future. But I was like, that's something I think is just for right now. It's going to be one of those that will pay off in a very long run when, somehow they're back on the same roster or the Royal Rumble or something like that. That's where it's going to probably pay off or whatever. Elimination Chamber, where they're trying to get the other number 1 contender, but they have both brands here. That's when it will probably come up and back into play. But for right now, Gunther's your King of the Ring and whatnot. But I was like, unlike the women's, which was sort of like up in the air, we sort of figured how this was gonna go with the men. But nonetheless, still a really good match, different type of match. Gunther could wrestle any match, and Randy Orton also really can. He's a really good wrestler. So then we got down to the main events of Cody and Logan. Now, we knew Cody not losing, so we already know that going in. So basically at this point, you're just like hoping for a really good match and good spots. And look, Logan Paul be delivering like a mug on these good ass spots, like he just do. I was like the crazy amount of athleticism, and I was like the fact that he got half the facial expression, the same, like he's got it like really good on a lot of things, and like you can still see like he has room for improvement. Like that's not even a knock. It's just that you could tell like where it's like he doesn't do this like every day. He hadn't been doing it for that many years, and he's already like this good. It's like getting like one of those people like in sports. You get them sort of like coming out of high school, early like college or like that, and just like it's there, and you're just like, man, if he played for 5 more years, imagine how good he'll be. That's how Logan kind of is. But the best spot of it all was pretty much when they had the drone that was flying around like 360-ish over Logan Paul. Logan Paul spits his prime in the air and basically just splashed to Cody Rhodes onto the announcer table. Then throw Cody Rhodes back into the ring, and then gives him a frog splash on top of that. And of course, they don't know 1, 2, 3, but to basically do that back to back on both on like splashes, and just like the height and the craziness, and also the camera was pretty dope for that Cody Rhodes thing too. But I was like, Logan Paul tried to hit him with the brass knucks. I was like, Cody Rhodes overturned it, and basically three crossroads, I was like 3 count pin done over just like that. And Cody Rhodes retained in a really good match. I was like, the matches were all good. The crowd was good. They was on point. They was engaged. And it's also, I was like, I will say this, for whatever y'all may think of Saudi and stuff like that, is that their wrestling crowd has improved a lot. Like, I feel like at the very beginning, it really felt corporate. Like how you go to sports games and stuff like that, where it's like the top seats at the top or the one at the main baseline of the floors and stuff like that, or depending on if it's basketball or hockey or whatever you want to say, is people that you're like got money, and they're just there, but they're not a fan. That's how it felt at the very beginning of it. Now it feels like they actually got people to come there. They got actual wrestling fans there. There's actually people where it's like Chad Gable was getting "you suck" chants, and they were doing it in the Kurt Angle way. I was like, they were cheering the Gunther and talking about "you deserve it." I was like, they was applauding Nia Jax while she was crying, and then eventually turn over. I was like, they was booing the hell out of Dom, So it's like they get it, they understand it, and not just there or whatever like that. Just being like, oh, it's a big time event. Let me show off my monies. Like it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure they got money, but I was like, but you could feel like they actually like this too. Um, and so regardless of, I guess everybody's stance on like the kind of like there is stuff with that place. To me the big issue isn't necessarily that they got to be fully clothed while the other ones don't. I'm like, nah, they got way more serious stuff than that. And I was like, and I feel like that's a tricky subject that I'm like, it's always weird when somebody else want to talk about somebody else's stuff. But anyway, need to hear on there because that's not what I'm here for. So anyway, that was King Queen the Ring. They got to shorten this damn name up and find something else that's a lot more suitable. But yeah, that was it. Great show. Yeah. Until then, peace out.